When your old career gives you lemons, throw in some ice, mix in some vodka, and call it a podcast. From the Mac of All Trades studio in Fairport, and driven by Victor Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, it's Billified, the Bill Moran Podcast.
Thank you for getting your pot on. Thanks for telling a friend. That's how we spread the word about the pirate ship. Danny, it's been a while.
I know.
Hey, gosh, you're there and I can't see you.
Oh.
I don't know what you're doing. I can't see you. I can't see the Buffalo Bills anymore. I can't see them. We'll get into all that stuff because I know that you've been chomping at the bit. We didn't get to do the Kansas City game last week, which I'm sure you had some serious thoughts about how bad they sucked in that game, and we'll hear all that coming up with you and Peter, and Juice will be on to tell us what picks to pick for what are we, week 11 now?
Yeah, Juice had a rough week last week. It's a good thing he sent me his picks.
Oh, wow.
And I bet some money.
Oh, no.
Oh, I lost like before 1 o'clock.
Well, it was a weird week.
It was a bad football weekend.
Yes, it was very strange.
Bad football weekend.
Very strange.
A lot of bad football, particularly in Miami, but we'll get to that later.
I am very excited about I like this, and I'm going to have to really discipline myself and try to wait for the weekend or maybe Friday evening.
Well, that's what the Adderall is for.
To watch, but sometimes I just go, I break right through.
Seriously?
Yeah.
The Moran animal comes out.
I'm like,
you've already hit your threshold.
I can break through the Adderall. Yeah, I've had to up it a little bit.
Doc, can I take two?
No, yeah. Well, honestly, today I had a lot of stuff to do, and I did not sleep well last night at all. No. I could not fall asleep. I don't think I fell asleep till 3, and then my alarm went off at 6:30. And I got up, and I've been powering through ever since.
If you want to fall asleep, close your eyes, and then just dart your eyes back and forth.
Yeah, that wasn't going to happen.
As hard as you can, as long as you can.
It wasn't working for me yesterday.
Did you try it? Did you really try this?
No,
this is the first time you're hearing this.
No, I had heard this before because, one, I think you've mentioned it.
Oh, okay.
And I think I had – usually I try to read or something like that. Mm-hmm. I just had there's a lot that's happening that I'm waiting a little bit of time to talk about, but so there's been.
Did you try doing homework? That always puts me to sleep when I was a kid.
No, I did not, and I have a lot, right? Because now I'm coming up on crunch time.
Oh, so, yeah. Finals coming up.
Yeah, finals, projects, just a lot.
I had a woman tell me today that she's leaving sales, her $300,000 a year job, to go into mental health counseling.
Really?
Yes.
What do you think?
She's burned out from sales. She's been doing it for 30 years.
Yeah. And
she's been taking classes without her employer knowing, and that she is now going into mental health counseling.
Yeah, I can see that. I mean, I think that you start to see the benefit of it. It can be rough. I can tell you that. It can be a rough journey for yourself. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Rough journey for yourself.
Yeah, because you're discovering things about you as you're learning about everyone else. Oh,
you're discovering things about...
I'd be a wreck.
No, not
with my OCD.
Nah, because I got
that. I got that.
I did an assessment, so you had to do a personality assessment, and there was like 365 questions or something on there, and these tests are really, really incredible because they even have a section where you're answering questions. You don't know this at the time, but it's like, is this likely, very likely, unlikely, whatever, and you have to mark it in. And a lot of it is to how accurately and honestly you're answering these questions.
Does each one have a point?
What's that?
Does each question have a point value?
Yeah. Well, when you go back through and score it, scoring is like it took 2 classes to finish the test, and so I think we took an hour and a half and then an hour and a half another time, and then we did the scoring process. But in this, you come out, and so. Other people in my cohort are like, these young girls are going, oh my God, I came out like schizophrenic. And they go, what about you? And I said, I came out really normal, like no elevated anything except for in the next level up from don't worry about this to, hey, you may be a little bit concerned, especially if you're at the upper end with anger. Not surprising, but this is over a lifetime of stuff that we're talking about too, right? Mm-hmm. And drinking. And so then what you had
I could have told you that.
You had to go back and write a report on the test, and you had to break down how it scored and what this is and each section and what these things mean and all that, and then do an analysis of the results and come up with a diagnosis. Is there a diagnosable anything here? You know, like people go, well, they're schizophrenic. Schizophrenia has a real, you got to meet real criteria.
It's one of those.
Bipolar, you got to meet certain criteria.
It's one of those terms that people throw around.
Yes, it's like a month-long thing. So,
especially with those new drug commercials coming out. Oh, there's different kinds of schizophrenia.
Right. And there's bipolar 1, bipolar 2. And so people get all twisted.
If your antidepressant isn't working, try this too.
So I found it to be, I felt great after that. I was like, yeah. And then it said, like, slightly elevated levels of stress. I go, yeah, this is over a lifetime. I was married. I got molested. I mean, what are you talking about?
In opposite order.
No, no, that way. I got molested, married, and molested again. Yeah, God, anybody around St. Patrick's Day a couple of years ago?
Love is lovelier the second time around.
Just fucking unreal.
Sorry. No, like when I used to go to the psychiatrist, the drug doctor, not the psychologist.
Yeah.
You got to like take a score test first when you walk in, and they look at your points and go, okay, I'm going to up this or down this or whatever.
Right, and a lot of it
sometimes
you're going by
in the 20s, sometimes it'd be in the 5s.
Well, the tough part with that is any given day you're going to feel differently.
Oh, yeah.
And so you're trying to look for something that's going to be sustained accuracy. So, what's the validity of these tests? And a lot of times they have you retake it 2 weeks later to see, do you score within at least 5-point range of each other? Mm-hmm. And
for consistency.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, they want to establish a baseline.
Right. So,
well, is it mental health counseling? You have to figure out yourself first before you can help anybody else. Is that part of the process?
I don't know.
Okay,
I don't know.
I've heard that. I don't know if that's true.
I don't know if that maybe. I mean, it's probably good. Here's what I would say. Yeah, you want to be aware of your blind spots, your prejudices, your biases, whatever it is, that you kind of just know, like, hey, I'm not great with this because I think it's overreaction and people are a little bit whiny or whatever. So that's not my field, depending on what that is. But it is interesting because what I was starting to say is I'm very excited because tonight the Eddie Murphy documentary drops on Netflix.
Oh!
And I've been waiting for this, just to give you a little taste.
I've done so many different types of things.
Good morning, my neighbors! Eddie Murphy!
He had that appointment with destiny. He changed the way we view
What do you like?
comedy.
I remember that scene. Yes, F you too!
Yes.
Took all the money? Shrek.
Yeah, I mean, it just looks great. It's called Being Eddie.
Yeah.
And I think of like people in that line of work. It's very hard to maintain a career. We see the guys with the longevity, the Harrison Fords, right? The guys that kind of made it and stayed. But for comedy, especially, the vehicle can run out. The shtick becomes old. There's all this stuff. And Eddie Murphy didn't remember when we sent my grandmother to see Norbit.
Yeah.
And she reviewed it for us on the break room. Yeah, the late Agnes Dolan. But I was really interested in this, and one of the big things, like I think the Post had a big article today going, Eddie Murphy was so upset over David Spade's joke. I think it was 1995 when he was doing Spade in America, and here's a little bit of that if you don't remember. Walking around.
Ladies and gentlemen, Spade in America with David Spade.
Good crowd. Thanks for staying up. Okay, well, I got a fan letter here from Indiana, and I'd like to read it to you. It says, Dear David, why are you such an idiot? Every time I see you on TV, I want to punch you in the face. Sincerely, Danny Minton. P.S. Why don't you ever do Hollywood Minute anymore? Look, children, it's a falling star. Make a wish.
It was Eddie Murphy did that Vampires in Brooklyn movie.
Yes.
And it had horrible reviews. And so he put up a picture of Eddie. He goes, hey, look, children.
A former SNL cast member.
Yeah.
And the first cast member, I believe, to host the show, which I'm sure went over real well with the rest of the cast.
Well, here's the thing that's so strange is because I always thought like, well, Eddie got his feelings hurt and what a whiner, and why not just talk about that? And I guess he does in this documentary. And what he says is if there was a joke now about a former SNL cast member about how fucked up their career was, it would get shot down.
Oh,
that's what he's saying. And he goes, it went through all those channels that a joke has to go through.
Born.
And then it was on the air. Mm-hmm. He's like, no one stopped it. So he said, I wasn't like, fuck David Spade. I was like, fuck SNL.
Mm-hmm.
You know? And he said, that's what you all think of me.
Yeah.
You dirty motherfuckers. And that's why I didn't go back for years.
Lorne Michaels allowed it. That's the buck stops with him.
I mean, it's a funny joke.
It is.
Because you've got, I mean, I get it. You're trying to come up with the comedy on the spot. It's a little bit shocking. And it is shocking that you would roast one of your own.
At the same time, though, you are a comic. This is what you do. If you could dish it out, you should be able to take it too.
Yeah.
We had that rule in the break room, man. If you can't laugh at yourself, then don't make fun of anybody else.
Right, but when you were one of the guys that made the show what it had become, like really carried it through after the original cast.
Yeah.
And really
he was
kept
the
it
second
going.
generation.
Yeah, and he was young. I think he was 19 when he joined the cast of SNL. I mean, that's a baby.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Remember when you were 19, what were you doing at 19?
Oh, gosh. I was in college.
Okay.
I was an idiot.
Yeah, I was in college.
I was a smart idiot.
I got on
an idiot.
I got on the radio and I was doing that. I don't know. It's a funny thing because one of the things that I'm finding, and maybe it's something even in yourself as you sort of do self-exploration, is I have a real problem with weak people. And I think that a lot of people who have had trauma in their lives, and trauma could be at any level, but there are things that would be traumatic to somebody and maybe not to somebody else. So you can't really say, well, that's not trauma. Well, maybe it is. I don't know.
Depends on who you are.
So I would say, though, a lot of those people do the classic avoidance of things. So when situations get sticky, they try to just kind of avoid having to talk about it, let it just die out and move on. I certainly was somebody like that. But now at this point in my life, I go, that is such a weak way to be as a human being. And I think that there are so many, and I've experienced it with so many different people. When I look back, I go, oh my God, a lot of it in, relationships and things, because people don't know how to communicate, or they're afraid of what the reaction was, putting the reaction that they got in the past on the present. Doesn't mean it's going to happen.
Right.
And that's where you got to go. That stuff is bullshit. But there is something where I think at one point you have to be like genuinely honest with somebody. And there's a lot of salespeople in the world, wonderful salespeople, but salespeople are salespeople. And I will argue to the day I leave this planet that they can't turn it off. They're always selling you a line of complete and utter horseshit. I really do. I think people who are great at sales, they're selling in their lives all the time. We all are, to a certain extent. I mean, it is. It's all about sales. But the ones that do it and can make a lot of money at it, they're real slick, and they have a way of manipulating in words and twisting stuff. And when you step back from that, you go, man, that is such a fucked up human being. Own it. Make a fucking opinion. Here's what I'm starting to realize. There used to be where people would go,
the professional politicians.
Maybe,
yeah.
but I think but most of it is. I'm not sure about that with.
I'm not talking about like voting politicians.
No,
I'm talking about just in general.
Well,
you're politicking.
What I think for a lot of people is they don't know who they are.
Yeah, I can think of one person off the top of my head right now.
I think that's a tough thing. I think when people don't know who they are, they wishy-washy, they're over here, they can't really make a decision. They know that this doesn't feel right. They don't know how to confront it. They're not sure how to have a conversation, so they kind of just dance. And you look at that, I look at that now and I go, ooh, I have done that. And that's weak.
We've all done it.
That is really, really, really weak. That says so much about somebody. And especially then when you get someone who's in sales, who's going to try to be real quick on their, it's like, whoa, I see what this is. It's smoke and mirrors.
Mm-hmm.
You're full of shit.
Yeah.
You don't know who you are, but you're full of shit. That much we know. Hey, if you're looking for a place that's more than just a market, it's a game changer, you've got to check out Palmer's Direct-to-You Market, right on 900 Jefferson Road in Henrietta, and, of course, online at palmersdirecttoyou.com. And here's what I love. You can hop on their website, not only see the weekly specials, but under the Learn tab, they've got tons of recipes, tips, and how-to guides. And with football season here, their game day recipe roundup loaded with fun ideas. Chicken wings, dips, crowd pleasers. You're going to be the MVP of any watch party by going to palmersdirecttoyou.com and clicking on the Learn tab. And the experts at Palmer's, they're incredible. I actually learned how to air fry bacon from them. Pro tip, you lay a piece of bread at the bottom to soak up the grease. Brilliant, right? That's a Palmer's tip. They've also got guides for busy back-to-school nights and how to properly freeze and thaw beef or easy meal preps so dinner doesn't feel like scramble. And it's not just recipes. The market itself is unbelievable. Certified Angus beef burgers, plump chicken, fresh fish, and one of my personal favorites, the Jamaican Me Crazy coffee. Oh, it's so good. So whether you shop in person at 900 Jefferson Road or online at palmersdirecttoyou.com, you're not just buying groceries, you're getting expert advice, fresh food, and a little inspiration to make mealtime better. That's Palmer's Direct-to-You Market. Got a home improvement conundrum? Time to call in the superheroes, Mac of all trades. Leaky faucet, wall that mysteriously has a hole in it. Kitchen looking like it's stuck in the 90s. Mac of all trades is here to save the day. No capes, just expert repairs, remodeling, and handyman services that get the job done right. Call them today at 585-202-9218. That's 585-202-9218. Or visit them online at macofalltrades.net, because every home needs a hero. Mac of all trades. Our friend Juice is here with some picks. Juice,
another guy who had a rough week.
Your Giants. I don't know. I mean, Jackson Dart.
I told you it was coming. There was no way he was going to last next year, so they cut the cord now and just said, why even bother hanging around? And it's over.
Four double-digit
that was it. I mean,
fourth quarter deficits that they gave up. 4 double-digit leads that they gave up in the fourth quarter this year. The odds of that happening to one team is 1 in 60,000.
Yeah, I heard that. The Giants in theory could be 5-5 if those games didn't go the way they did, and that's why Dabo's no longer with us.
Do you Jackson Dart concussion?
Yes.
Yeah. Out.
And that's part of the reason too.
Yeah.
Dave's he was reckless with him. He was encouraging him to take on, and what the Giants brass is saying, they're telling Jackson to tone it down a little bit. Like, don't take these guys on head on when you're running. Running's fine, but you got to slide more. And he refused to slide. He wants to go, take on these middle linebackers. And that's why he's going to miss the next game and maybe one after that.
Yeah, they had to blue tent the entire state of New Jersey to keep him off the field.
Well.
And then Russ came in, and he is just fucking horrible. He is so bad, so done, so washed. He should never step on a football field again unless it's to volunteer to mow the grass at his kids' high school football field.
It's very rare that a national pundit who's not known for taking shots takes shots at a player. Scott Van Pelt, who may be one of the nicest guys in sports media, tweets out, Mr. Limited.
That's funny.
Because they don't like Russ.
Yeah.
Russ is as a phony when the camera's off.
Yeah.
The guy's a phony. And it's coming back to roost. Meanwhile, there's Jameis Winston holding court in New Jersey today talking about, I think he's going to start.
Yes, they announced that. Mike Kafka already announced that Jameis is starting, which he's already making the right decisions right off the bat, which is awesome. I mean, that just gives us some hope, some fun. It's just going to be fun having him out there slinging. He'll throw 4 touchdowns and 3 interceptions, but God damn it, he'll make it fun.
You'll have a chance to win, though.
Well, it's the Giants-Packers, which was that Packers game was a snooze fest.
I don't think Jordan Love is as good as everybody says.
I don't either. I never did. I don't know why. I just never really did. Juice, who do you like in some of these games? I mean, last week there was some surprising blowouts along the way,
and we got smacked. I know we didn't do the picks out here, which I'm thankful for, and nobody else. I didn't cost anybody else money, but I text Dan privately and told them what we were playing, and we lost every single one. We got absolutely whacked.
All right, you can't win all of them, and that's part of the fun
and
of
actually,
the sport.
It took
my 401k
week
is
10,
gone.
It took 10 weeks to have our first losing week, so I'm okay with that. We went 9 weeks, in the black, and now we finally go red, so that's all right, no problem. But as I tell my friends, we're beat but not beaten. We're going to be back this week.
Okay. We'll start with the Bucs and the Bills, only because here's what's interesting about this. You've got two quarterbacks drafted in 2018 who have taken very different journeys in the NFL. Josh Allen has been only in Buffalo. Hopefully he'll stay only in Buffalo. You have Baker Mayfield, who went Cleveland, and then from Cleveland to the Panthers, from the Panthers to the Rams, from the Rams to the Bucs, right?
Yes,
I think that's the trajectory. That's like 4 teams in
8 years.
8 years. So it seems like a lot, and he seems to have found a landing spot. I'm not so sure I'm sold on Baker Mayfield being an elite quarterback. He seems like a lot of times he has to hop up as he's throwing the ball to get it over the line. I don't know why. And he's not that little. It's just that
he's 6 foot.
Yeah. Well, that's extra
short
5 inches. Yeah. And, but yet he has a will to win. There is a tenacity about this guy. I mean, you feel like you have him on your side. You've always got a shot in the game. So I'm not feeling great about this, to be quite honest with you, the Bucs and the Bills.
No, I think what's going to help the Bills, unfortunately, is the loss. I don't see them losing 2 in a row. So Allen's going to be hungry, and they're going to get this win on Sunday. I just don't see them losing again. The weather's going to be shitty. It's going to be rainy. So the Bills have got to run. Now, also, unfortunately, Tampa's run defense is pretty good. So the Bills are going to have to grind this out. But overall, I think with the weather conditions, I think it's favors to Buffalo. And I think the Buffalo will get the win. And what is it? I think 5.5. So I'm probably not staying away from that. Or I am staying away from that. I look to maybe take the Bills live, get it maybe under a field goal or something. But I don't like 5.5 points.
All right.
I don't either.
No?
If I'm taking Tampa Bay in this one.
To cover.
Yep.
Yes, to cover.
To cover. Okay.
They're definitely not beating Houston the week after. I'm telling you that right now. Buffalo. But that's another story for another time.
Well, but maybe. I mean, who knows?
They're not going to Houston, beating Houston on 3 days. No, they're not.
Chiefs, Broncos.
Chiefs.
Yeah, really? Okay.
Andy Reid.
Go ahead.
Off a bye, huge. The Broncos last Thursday against the Raiders, that was another snooze fest. That was so bad.
That game was awful.
They barely won that game. That game was fucking horrible.
It was.
I think the Chiefs come in there and get right. They're gonna smack them around. Chiefs -4.
Bo Nix.
That's our first play of the week.
Usually quarterbacks take a step forward in their sophomore year.
Yeah.
He's actually declined.
Regressed? Really?
He's regressed.
Yeah.
He does not look good. His decision making it's like he's playing scared. Like he doesn't want to tick off Sean Payton.
Yeah. Well, Sean Payton, I have not heard nice things about Sean Payton in his personal life.
Oh, really?
I think the Chiefs know that division is in reach for them. They haven't played the Broncos yet, so they're going to knock them off twice and get in. I think the Chargers are on the decline with their offensive line, so I still think the Chiefs win that division, and I think that run that they starts on Sunday.
All right. Danny says the Texans are good. Give me some of your
I didn't say they're good. I say they're going to beat the Bills because it's a Thursday night game. I didn't say they're good. They shot their load like last week coming back against Jacksonville.
How dare you say that? My goodness. Texans Titans. But give me some locks of the week. What do you got?
We're gonna speaking of Houston, we're going to take them -7
okay, that's what I thought.
Against the Tennessee Titans. Now, the player is the league's best defense versus the league's worst offense. And I'm going to go defense every time.
Okay.
Yes, Davis Mills is starting. CJ Stroud is out, which, gives me a little bit of pause, but I still don't see Tennessee doing anything in this game. And I think that Houston will do enough to cover. I mean, even if it's 10-3 or 17-7 or something, it's, going to be low scoring. It's going to be ugly, but Houston will win by 7 or more points.
Okay. All right. I like that.
Yep.
What's another one you got?
Another big game, which is actually potentially game of the year so far. You got the Rams versus the Seahawks division game. That's going to be an awesome game. Saturday as well.
The Rams look great the other night.
Seattle is the sneakiest, best team in the NFL, and the Rams are very close.
Yeah, Rams.
You got to remember who Seattle has at quarterback, and that's Sam Darnold, and he has not really won a big game yet. This is a big game for him, and I'm taking the Rams -3 in this all day. I just think he hasn't really had that game yet, and I think we're going to see that Sunday.
Well, that game at the end of the season last year when Minnesota went to Detroit on a Sunday night,
terrible.
right?
Terrible.
And that was Sam Darnold's make or break game. If he wins that game, he's probably still the quarterback of the Vikings.
Yeah,
but he loses,
he
we're going to go with the injured kid, McCarthy.
Yeah.
So he's in Seattle, and he's all world all of a sudden.
They are looking good. I mean, it's unbelievable. I mean, I think they have how many points in the first quarter?
There's 28.
Yeah, I thought it was 20.
They had 2 defensive touchdowns, sacks.
I thought it was 28-0 too. I see it come across my phone. I'm not even turning it on. Mm-hmm. I don't want to see that. But the Rams looked so good the other night, and that was a battle between the 49ers and the Rams. But the Rams look good, and man, who would have thought Stafford all those years in Detroit? You looked at him and went,
And I mean, he is right now. If you look, he's the MVP odds favorite. Matt Stafford is.
Good for him.
So this is a huge game for him, and this could put him. If he wins this game, I think he's exactly at 500 for his career wins and losses, and this game will put him over 500. On Sunday, because he was on so many. You wouldn't think that, but he was on so many shitty
Lions were.
Yes. Hey, if you've been thinking about checking out recreational cannabis in Monroe County, stop thinking and start visiting my buds over at MJ Dispensary. They were the first recreational cannabis destination in the county. That's right, the OG spot. And trust me, they know their stuff. I was at their summer event, and I was blown away by how educated and on top of it their bud tenders are. I mean, these aren't just people handing you a bag. They're like the Google of cannabis, but way friendlier and without the pop-up ads. Whether you're looking for edibles, vapes, concentrates, pre-rolls, or just something that helps you relax, sleep, or deal with pain, MJ Dispensary has it all. And the best part, they'll guide you so you don't leave looking like you just picked random snacks at 3 a.m. Now, maybe you're in it for the fun side, maybe you're in it for the wellness side. It doesn't matter. They've got you covered. And here's a bonus. Delivery. That's right. From Monday through Saturday, 10 a.m. to 8 p.m., and even on Sundays from 10 a.m. to 7 p.m., they'll bring the goods right to your door and no judgment if you're in their pajamas. Oh. So, do yourself a favor. Head over to MJ Dispensary, 900 Jefferson Road, Suite 902 in Henrietta, or check them out online at mjdispensary585.com. Connors & Ferris handles workers' comp, Social Security disability, and personal injury cases. Listen, I get it. Workers' comp claims can be a real pain. But Connors & Ferris are here to fight for you and get you the compensation you deserve. Whether you threw out your back on the job, slipped when you should have gripped, or your boss thinks overtime means free labor. Spoiler, it doesn't. They've got your back at Connors & Ferris. With offices in New York City, Syracuse, Rochester, and Buffalo, they're the go-to team for getting the compensation you deserve. No gimmicks, no nonsense, just real results. Call Connors & Ferris, 262-COMP. That's 262-COMP for Connors & Ferris. Peter, where are you? It's all fancy.
Yeah, at a work event. It's actually a nice place in Charlotte. It's called Puttery. It's an indoor, putt-putt, but it's very posh.
Oh,
bar,
okay.
Restaurant.
It's
very cool. It's very laid back, and people have work events here, and team building and all that stuff.
Very good. I like it.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah.
Peter, I can't wait to hear the thoughts on the Buffalo Bills. I thought the offense looked inept. I thought Josh Allen probably had one of his worst games ever, but at some points you go, the receiving core, nobody's getting separation, and there is your problem. Josh pulled out, that one play where he went around and around, and it's so exciting, and then he connects, right? And who's the best receiver they have? Dalton Kincaid?
Right now.
I think it is. And then afterwards, and maybe I'm jumping the gun here, but then it didn't come out afterwards. I happened to be in the studio here, and then going to watch just the first half of the game while I drank ginger ale. I just want you to know.
Oh.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Uh-huh.
Wow.
I know. It's a whole new me. I'm watching, and it's the local CBS affiliate does a regional Bills thing before CBS NFL Today, right? So they're talking very, very enthusiastically that Brandon Beane had seemed to go all in on trying to get that receiver that we need, the missing piece. That was the thing. And he seemed to go all in. And, Bills Mafia, we want you to, he hears you, they know, they're thinking the same thing you're thinking. They really wanted it. And
then
it was, who was it, Jaden Waddle?
Yeah.
Jaden Waddle. So they thought this was all going to go down. And you're hearing about it. And then Waddle seems to scorch them a few times on the field. But from what I'm understanding, and this is where people started going, well, then this guy needs to be fired, Brandon Beane. They wanted a 2026 first-round draft pick, and he said, no, I'll give you a 2027. I don't know if that's true. Again, I always say to people, I go, I wasn't in the meeting. I don't know. Who knows? Like, somebody could be.
Who leaked that, and why is it leaked?
Exactly. Thank you.
Leaked that,
thank you.
And why was it leaked?
Right. But so it gets out there. So now everybody's like, well, you're just wasting Josh Allen. And if this is true, why wouldn't you try to win right now? You're off to a pretty decent start at 6-2, and here we go. I don't know what. I'm sure both you and Danny have maybe seen more, or read more, or dug a little deeper into that story. I'm not sure.
I haven't dug a little deeper into that. If I can rewind for a second.
Sure.
I watched some of the all 22, not all of it because I was too frustrated. But I will tell you that Josh Allen made some pretty big errors.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
On Sunday.
Yeah.
There was a time when Keon was wide open.
Yeah.
And he just overthrew him, or he underthrew him. Or it was a sideline route. It was a touchdown. Now, granted, it was like Miami's fourth string cornerback, but he was still open. There was another play where Dawson Knox still open. Nothing in Josh Allen's sight line at all. Knox was wide open. He was the first progression in the route, yet he checks down to the fourth progression in to Johnson. I think it was Johnson.
Ty Johnson.
No, not Ty Johnson. The other one. No, not even whoever it was. Still got 15 yards on the play. But the question is, why wouldn't you throw your first progression that would have given you 15 yards in the air, not 5 yards and then 10 yards after catch? I don't know what happened. I mean, I'm not in the film room. I'm not in their helmet. But gracious, there's some things that are going on right now where no one knows which way is up, and it's really concerning going into the Tampa Bay game, coming on the heels of a great Kansas City outing.
Right.
They look like that.
Okay. I thought the Kansas City outing looked really good. I got nervous at the end of the game, but because it's Kansas City, but I thought they overall looked pretty good. I did say to Danny before, I go, I'm sure you thought they had some awful moments in that game, but I don't know. I thought they looked pretty good.
Well, they did.
Yeah.
But they also took the ball away 3 times and only won by a touchdown at the end of that one. Yeah. I mean, so it's like Kansas City, like on autopilot, could give the Bills at their best a game.
Yeah.
Right? And then the Bills, so we just beat the Chiefs. So we can put it on cruise control against Miami, right? And then Allen admits after the game that, they wanted more than us. Well, why? I mean, their general manager just got fired. There were guys that were rumored to be traded. Other guys did get traded. Your head coach is the walking dead right now. They call a timeout before the game even starts to dispute an offsides call. So they're starting the game with 2 timeouts in the first half, and they can't even get it right.
And there's already dissension based upon what it's up for opinion and it's up for discussion. But in the press conference on the back end of the game, when McDermott was asked, your general manager said, you have a championship roster. Do you have a championship roster? Answer, I love these players.
Oh, that is not an answer.
When a head coach starts equivocating in a press conference.
That is not an answer.
That's it. I love these players. That's it. And that's it. He stopped short. He didn't pontificate. He didn't do coach speak. He stopped. I love these players. End of answer. So there's something going on inside one Bills drive that is penetrating this team's enthusiasm, their drive. No, I said weeks ago after the Panthers game, intentionally watching the sideline during the game. Forget about the game. It's 40-9. Great. I wanted to see how they acted on the sideline. And it gave me concern that, and I even talked about it here on Vilified. Gave me concern that week. There's no emotional leader. There's no one walking around the sideline. Your head coach doesn't go up to the offensive side of the bench ever. There's something that's going on within that team right now that I don't know if they could find their way out of. And everybody's talking about, they're going to make the playoffs. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know either.
I don't know.
I think we're at Jim Mora playoffs point.
Yeah.
And I said this 3 weeks ago.
Yeah, you did. We've been talking we have been talking on this show for weeks. We've been pointing out the deficiencies. No one wants to listen until it happens.
Right.
Oh, there it is. It's been there all year.
Yeah, it really did. I mean, it looked ugly. It looked ugly.
I watched the game again last night. It was actually worse the second time I watched it.
Why?
Well, yeah, because I'm here.
I love it.
I got to be prepared to come on the show.
No, I understand it, but you watched it. I mean, you knew how bad it was.
Yeah.
I'm sure you read plenty of articles. I know
But
you got the Athletic.
You pick up a lot more when there's and the second time you watch it.
Yeah, but
because you're in the middle of it being a fan, and then you watch it the second time, and you kind of concentrating on the football part.
Agita.
Bill, they're predictable. They're unprepared.
Yeah.
Like when Dalton Kincaid ran on the field, okay, we're going to run a pass play. Everybody knows it. When Dalton Kincaid trots off the field and they bring in Jackson Hawes, okay, it's probably going to be a run. Until they run that stupid trick play, we're going to roll him out and throw it and fake the 4th and 1 tush push. When the drive before, you had a 4th and 1 at the 34, you're like, yeah, I don't know. Okay,
I
fine.
wish they did do that.
I wish they did too.
I wish they had gone.
Okay, so now we're going to go for it. And they give it up, and then Miami comes back down the field and scores, and Cole Bishop, who was a hero on the previous drive, all of a sudden gets a pushing the kid out of bounds, so that's another 15 yards. Yeah. They get 30 yards on that play. Next thing you know, the ball's in the air, touchdown, and we make Tua look like a freaking hero because the defensive secondary is just so banged up and so injured and so old.
Yeah.
Yeah, and even what I think it was Dawkins, he said, yeah, well, they came out in base defense. If an NFL team that's 2-7 comes out, they play base defense with 3 linebackers and not a nickel corner, they're saying, we're going to stop your run. You can't beat us in the passing game. That's what that tells you. Mm-hmm. And that, to me, is alarming.
Yes, I will tell you what we're doing with the podcast.
Oh.
All good stuff.
Oh, cool.
All good stuff. So I don't want to rattle any feathers, but there will be more to come on all that stuff.
We're looking forward to it.
In the near future.
I love coming here. I love doing this. I appreciate it.
Well, I appreciate you, Dan Barillo, and I love when your head gets on. I just love it.
No, it's all entertainment.
I know.
My wife goes, you don't really get mad over football. You just act like it to be funny.
I don't know. I think if you were actually in that front office, I think there would be like...
Heads are gonna roll.
Well, I think you wouldn't sleep. I think you'd be there. We'd find you like with your Fitbit going off at 4 a.m.
Yeah, our owner's an AFib.
For Dan Barillo, for Juice Fields. For Peter Montemerno, I'm Bill Moran. We'll see you next week.
Well, since I left California, baby, things have gotten worse.